Guys, we are officially in the era of the Kardashians ending. Their impact is just no longer more, and this is why. Hey guys, it's Murad. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Back at again, it is daily and consistent content. Inject it, click that button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into this video where I do want to just explain and discuss, why I feel like the Kardashian era is ending. And I just think that this is a time that has finally come. Every era comes to an end. I feel like they've dominated for a very long time, but for multiple reasons, I feel like they have just basically ended. So, an example I feel like where this all began was the breakdown with Kanye West. It's no, stranger to the thought of the idea that the relevancy of the Kardashians improved massively when they married to an A-lister. Kanye West, a huge musician, one of the most successful in America. And then, Kanye brought Kim into the fashion world. But when that breakup happened, the interest in Kim definitely, swindled, let's just say, and they were maintaining their relevancy through scandals, and everybody knows that. And the whole Kanye West breakup, and then he was responding and calling them out publicly, like a part of them. I know Kim Kris Jenner definitely enjoyed that to an extent, because it's keeping them in the limelight and they can use that for their new show and etc. And I think that was definitely a huge transition of the era ending, because without Kanye West and A-lister on their side, they always need men with them. Kendall Jenner is now kind of dating and, seeing Bad Bunny. But if that wasn't taking place, people wouldn't be speaking about Kendall Jenner, because her modeling work doesn't show for good discussion. She's always getting dragged for her modeling because it isn't as whatever, XYZ. I also feel like another reason is the Kardashian show ending and then them transitioning to Hulu. The transition to Hulu never landed. It never worked properly because nobody is really interested in this Hulu show, because it's just showing them around doing normal stuff on their Instagram stories, basically on a TV format for Disney. And they have yet to actually reveal the ratings to the public, which in my opinion is because the ratings are actually quite low. The first season was extremely boring, and so was the second season. Didn't see much talk about it. And they released a trailer for the next Hulu season. And again, nobody was speaking about it. Nobody discussed it at all until they released a further trailer, which actually showed some kind of beef or drama, which they haven't been having and what you need to have, which is between Kourtney and Kim. But even this little beef between them two, to me, it's stale. We've seen these two argue throughout. And again, now she feels like her wedding's being used as like a moment for Kim. But it's like, if it's not Kim and Kourtney, what else are we going to speak about? So I feel like the beef within itself, it's stale, and I just think that also another reason. The Hulu show never worked, the format never worked, the script never worked. It was boring, not appealing, and I haven't seen much talk about their new show, and they're in their third season, guys. I just have not seen much conversation about it. In my opinion, they should have stayed on E! News, or continued on with that type of format, if anything, because I just don't think that it's, working for them. Kim also being single, the Pete Davidson stuff definitely had her name out there with Pete, but it's just the fact that she's not with somebody within itself also shows that she's not really being spoken about. These girls need men to be with them in order to be spoken about, or need to be in scandals in order for them to be spoken about. Also, the direction of social media. I spoke about the fact that authenticity is influencer 2.0, where people are now trying to be relatable, which is why the likes of Adele, is definitely liked a lot, because she's just herself, and being yourself on camera is the only way to, in my opinion, be a proper influencer content creator. When I look at content creators, influencers, and them trying to do the most in pictures and whatever, I just feel like you don't need to show all that effort, just be yourself. And I just feel like them now trying to be seen in pubs, them now trying to be seen in random, houses and etc. Trying to be seen relatable, especially, trying to be seen in the football stadiums with their kids. I just think that form of relatability is now something that they're suddenly doing, but they haven't been doing before. So I think that itself is another reason for why the era is ending and why people are not really focused on them, because they're really much wanting to make everything picture perfect. I also feel like another reason for why the Kardashian era is ending is because this beef between Selena and Kylie, which I don't even think was even beef, it was just that the public and people were doing the most, as they always do. Obviously, Selena has a huge fan base, so Kylie going up against that wasn't cute for her in any regard, and it just wasn't something that she definitely needed. And again, I feel like that definitely had a reason. Only a couple of days ago, Kylie wasn't able to get into one of the Met Gala parties because apparently it was at full capacity. Now, if you are somebody of high status, important in the celebrity kind of world, no matter how full a house or a venue is, if you are that girl, they are going to let you in, regardless. And it was Doja Cat's party or something, but they couldn't let her in and she had to turn around. I just don't think that would be happening to somebody in their peak era in any capacity. When it came to these three girls, Kylie, Kendall, and Kim, on the Met Gala, again, nobody spoke about them. Nobody was looking for them. Their outfits didn't cause any conversation. They weren't even in the top 10 of discussions of trending. It was somebody from East Asia, a musician, and then Rihanna was definitely spoken about as well. Ice Spice was spoken about, Cardi B was spoken about, Nicki Minaj was spoken about. But I feel like none of those Kardashian girls or Jenner girls were even in the top 10 of the discussion. And I feel like that in itself, if Kim is not pulling a gimmick by covering her face, or with Kanye West, then, you know, people aren't discussing that. I'm not saying that they're not successful. They have huge businesses, huge houses, and they are extremely successful. Nobody's denying that. However, I genuinely feel like the era of the Kardashians is beginning to end. Only now it's beginning to end, unless they pull back, come back with another Jordan Woods type of scandal, or end up having huge more arguments on their TV. Even the birds outside agree with me, child. Even they're agreeing and saying it's ending too. It is ending, isn't it? Exactly, it's ending. So I just feel like there are multiple reasons for why the Kardashian era is ending. People are just not interested in them anymore, and they don't give that relatability appeal factor. I guess the only way they are stringing on is the fact that they do have children, and their children now are on TikToks, on these new apps. You know, you also have, you know, North bringing on Ice Spice in videos, in conversation, and I think that is probably what they're going to try and market on, is have these girls, their young children, with new brands and new firms, North's toy line, this person, Chicago's line or whatever, and, you know, build them up as the new empire. Kim also said in a recent interview that she wouldn't mind taking a complete break from reality TV, going into the mist, ghosting from everybody, and focusing on law. I don't think that she would be saying that if she was in her peak era. They know they're no longer in their peak era, and everything with the Kardashian dynasty is now finally ending. I feel like if Kanye West and Kim were still together, that probably wouldn't have been the case, because whether you have a strong opinion of likeness or dislikeness of Kanye West at this point based on what's happened, he is a juggernaut, and nobody can disregard that opinion, because he definitely is, and he helped the Kardashians become what they are today. And I do think that, you know, these girls need to be associated with a man or need to be going through a scandal in order to have some kind of conversation. And I just think that the Kendall Jenner Bad Bunny stuff is here and there, and there's conversation about it only because she's dating, you know, a well-established musician. But yeah, I think there's just multiple reasons. The new reality TV show is not landing. It's just very boring. The, you know, authenticity, new model of influencer that is now being pushed, and that kind of relevancy is what you need, which these girls never really embodied. And then I also think that, you know, the way the woman's body is changing now with what society is accepting, and before it was having, you know, big rear ends, big lips, and etc. And now they obviously want to be slimline and take their BBLs out and all of that stuff, which is what the Kardashian girls are also now slowly doing as well. In the last year or so, they've been changing their body in a subtle manner. They're trying to adapt to this change, and I just don't think it's working. Khloe also revealed that the new name of their son with Tristan, and again, I didn't see much conversation about it. I don't see much conversation on Khloe and Tristan. Again, she has to kind of leech of the story. There's nothing else about this girl people want to know about on the kind of, you know, when it comes to them being on TV shows and etc. If her relevancy as of right now is Tristan cheating on her, if they were together, and I just feel like that has been and done. You know, Tristan isn't going to be cheating anymore because the relationship's ended between them two. She's over that. People are over it. It's running stale. Nobody really cares. Kanye West is not wilding out for them to use that as well. So I just think there are multiple reasons why I feel like this is only the beginning. I'm not saying that they've ended now, but this is the beginning of, in my opinion, their popularity fading away. And I've seen people on TikTok having this conversation as well. A lot of people are discussing this, that they are ending. Maybe you guys disagree with me. Maybe you guys agree with me. Who knows? But comment down below, sound off if you feel like I've also missed out on reasons for why you feel like their era is ending. But I definitely feel like, you know, it's just It's fading away now, and I think the Met Gala was an example. I do think the story of them being banned that was leaked to Page 6 or whatever was great PR for them because people were speaking about them. However, the fact that they then came and didn't come with something, like one of those girls needed to be the it dress of the night. Like they had to have something to be a huge, like the way you dress can really change everything about you when it comes to conversations of the public eye. An example is Rihanna. When she first came to the Met Gala, you know, just casual dresses, but when she stepped it up, people were waiting for her to the point where she was allowed to come in last. Zendaya sneaked into fashion shows, changed the style, and that elevated her as an actress. Doja Cat went viral with her authenticity of becoming a cat in this kind of way, and in her interviews and her personality. And I just think that Kylie, Kendall, and Kim lack all of that. No matter how much guidance they have, not one of these girls have come in and tried to be the it girl of the dress, and I just wanted one of them to do it so people can discuss it, and I just didn't really get that. So the Met Gala for me was the beginning of the end, when I really realized that nobody actually cared about them being there. Like nobody was checking for them, nobody was looking for it, they weren't even trending, and normally they are constantly when it comes to all these events. Listen, an end of an era, everything does come to an end at some points. Maybe they're not mad at it, maybe they're accepting it and they're passing on to the children. That is also okay. And I'm not saying that they are not successful people or that they have, you know, low followings or etc. I'm not saying none of that. And we think we all know that they are very successful at what they've done, especially Chris. But I just feel like their era is ending, and I wanted to make an 11-minute video about it just to discuss it. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review.